And the idea of a Meet the Press series was really interesting. And Kathleen was talking about how it's great to put the face to the name and to the people who are covering the community, the people who can make you famous in the community or can help promote your events or what have you, help you brand your business. It's so important. And so I invited Beth to come and share with us a little bit about how Alexandria Living magazine started, a little bit about what that process has been like, and then a lot of how businesses can be a part of the magazine in order to promote their businesses. So Beth, without further ado, tell us about Alexandria Living.
So my co-founder, Miriam Barton, is editor now of the magazine, and she was wondering why Alexandria doesn't have its own regional magazine. Arlington does, Bethesda does, what's wrong with Alexandria? And we both lived here for a long time, and I said, I bet we could do that. so I really blame her for all of this. But she's been great. And so last year, over a year ago, it was June in 2017 that we incorporated. We got the trademark for Alexandria Living, and we started thinking about, okay, who would be our target audience? What kind of content is working for other regional magazines, doing some of that market research. So we hooked up with Metro Publisher, which is a website company that does all the regional magazine websites. They do Seattle Magazine, St. Louis Magazine, Virginia Living, Garden and Gun. I mean, they do a lot of home and garden, family, lifestyle regional magazines. So we worked with them starting in August of 2017. We got our website launched in January, and we thought we were going to get the print magazine launched by March or May, like somewhere in the spring of 2018. And we got the website launched, and then we said, you know what, hold on. Let's see what happens with this website. Let's get some information on what are people clicking on? What are our demographics like? How can we best position ourselves and grow our email marketing list and all of that? So in March of 2018, we came out with this, which was really a preview edition, because in this whole process, we discovered it's really difficult to sell something that doesn't exist. And a lot of people we were talking to about potentially advertising were like, well, but what's it going to look like? And we'd bring out, Bethesda magazine or another regional magazine. We're going to be kind of like this, only better, and just for Alexandria. And they'd say, well, but what's it going to look like? Okay, so all right, fine. So we did this, which is a preview issue. It is 32 pages plus the cover, and this is legitimate, paid for advertising, stories, the sort of thing that we were going to be doing in the real magazine when it came out. So we wanted to, so we did this as a preview edition. We did a big old launch party in Old Town Alexandria to kind of debut this. We printed 1,000 copies, and we were really using it kind of as a sales and marketing tool to figure out what everyone wanted. So once we had that out there, we got a lot of positive feedback, a lot of great suggestions, a lot of help. We found a new photo editor. We got a lot more people interested in working with us. Kept the website going. We've been updating that at least 5 or 6 days a week with new stories. We have 3 email newsletters going out per week. We have Tuesday is must-reads. Thursday is food and dining. You should have gotten that half an hour ago. And Friday is home and garden. So those have been going. And we were finally ready to actually do the real thing in September. So it took 15 months from the time we incorporated to get this out. So this is...
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's that is amazing.
So this one is bigger than that one. This is 60-something pages, much more advertising, longer features, a lot of good information on local events, food and dining, home and garden, parenting, what else is in here? Development. You know, we were thinking, you know, what's that crane over there? What's that crane over there? Like,
Yeah.
good God, what are they building
My
here?
favorite part of my email newsletter I get is the what's coming.
What's coming?
Yeah.
So we did this entire map on what's coming, you know, and the next page is what are all those bullet points and what, you know. So
that's
we're doing a
great.
lot of stories like
That
that.
is
Um,
that is actually
It is-
super helpful and cool.
So it's bi-monthly,
Oh,
so
that's
it's coming out every other month. The next one is coming out in November. People should be getting it in their mailboxes at the end of October. In that one, we have stories on, actually for financial planning, we have stories on what New Year's financial resolutions to make and how to actually keep them. We try to be a little bit practical with this information. We have a series of stories on, you know, what happens when you come home for Thanksgiving or the holidays and you realize, whoa, my parents should not be living alone anymore.
Oh, wow.
This is not good. Like,
Long-term care.
right. So who do you call? What are the local resources? How do you have that conversation with your parents? What do you do at the house? Can they age in place? What's the architectural assessment of whether that's possible? So we have a package of stories on that. There's a full calendar listing of all the events going on between November and mid-January about. New restaurants opening, businesses opening, you know, features of people doing interesting things, that sort of thing. So,
You mentioned your target audience. But you didn't tell us exactly. Who is your target?
you know, it turns out that, so we're targeting people in Alexandria who are engaged residents, interested in events, restaurants, what's coming, that sort of thing. Our Google Analytics is telling us that our online audience, at least, skews a little bit female and is really ages 25 to 44, right? Which is actually a little bit younger than we thought it would be.
Yeah. Agreed.
But almost half our audience is female in that age bracket. So people who are engaged in the community, either who have lived here a long time and want to know what's going on around them, or who have just moved in and don't know what's going on around them. A lot of parents, working professionals, were also distributed at like the Visit Alexandria Visitor Center, a lot of the hotels. So there's a lot in there for people who are just coming into town for a couple of days.
Right.
So it's really it's pretty wide audience.
I was going to suggest you definitely look up hotels.
Yep, we are in at least 10 or 12 hotels, and several of them are putting the magazine in the rooms. So
Yeah, and real estate agents then too.
there's a lot of real estate agents that we're working. We're working with real estate agents from Compass, Keller Williams, and McInerney. Right now, are advertising and doing that sort of thing.
So Beth, talk a little bit about that. So I mean, obviously the model is an advertising model. Is that accurate?
Primarily.
Okay. So is that advertising and a little bit of subscription, or?
Right. So right now, since we are new, we're doing free subscriptions for a year for anyone who signs up by December 31st.
Okay.
After that point, there will be paid subscriptions for, you know, to get this delivered to your house. It's also distributed free at a large number of coffee shops, restaurants, that sort of thing in the area. And those will also be converting to paid at some point in the future. And then in addition to subscriptions, the long-term plan is to develop a model where your subscription comes with additional benefits in the local business community, or as a parent getting early access to XYZ. So we're working on that model.
And
as
is
well.
the primary, I want to talk to you about that separately, but is
Yep.
the primary goal there is for the subscription piece is just to pay for the production and distribution? I mean, because like if you could get that to be a wash, then
Right, that would be-
yeah. So okay, so I want to talk to you about that separately.
Yeah.
But then with regards to the advertising, obviously presumably the more advertising you have,
Right.
then the easier it is because
Right.
you have demand, and B, the more money you're making to be able to
Right.
spend on other things.
Right.
What is are the businesses you're talking to, do they get it? Are they like, this is great? How do you communicate the benefit of advertising in Alexandria Living Magazine?
So the